Alright, so now I'd like to talk to you about the 80-20 principle. It's also known as Pareto's principle or Pareto's law. And what it is quite simple, but the effect can be quite profound. What it means is that 80% of one's outputs are only from 20% of the inputs. And this is crucial, which means that there's an awful lot of waste in an awful lot of these processes. And this can be applied all over the spectrum, from business to nature. Pareto was an Italian economist at the end of the 1800s, and what he noticed was that 80% of the wealth in most nations, through various points in history, was always owned or controlled by just 20% of the people in different societies around the world. Then he noticed that it was the same or similar in his garden, that 20% of plants would result in 80% of his vegetable produce. Now this means that it's not a linear one-to-one sort of relationship, that if you have 10 customers, each of them are going to be bringing in 10% of your revenue. It's the other way around. It's 80% of your revenue will be coming from 20% of your customers. It's also the opposite in the negative side of things, that 80% of your problems will be coming from 20% of your customers. 80% of your returned items or faulty products will probably be just from 20% of those products. Now, how does this relate to self-assembly sites and you building your website? Well, self-assembly sites, I'd like to think of, is a solution to this 80-20 problem that most people have. In the sense that if you're dealing with a normal developer, you'll have a meeting and it'll be an hour or two and you'll work some pieces out. Then you'll have another meeting, then you'll have another meeting, then you'll have another meeting to try and work out what you want. And when the website is finally delivered, you'll have a finite website, and that's all you'll have. Whereas if you put the similar, if often even less amount of time into working with self-assembly sites and building your own website, those same hours will actually be a learning process and be worth far more to you, because when you have that finished website, it's not just a finished website, as we said in previous videos, it's an ongoing, expanding and improving piece that you can improve, so that all that knowledge that you've built up, instead of just being in a meeting, you actually have a skill that you can update and improve your website however you see fit. Whether all in one go or whether a little bit regularly every now and again. And this is the point, that working with self-assembly sites, you're removing an awful lot of that waste. You've created what some software engineers call the time asset. That time you put in building your website is an asset. It's not wasted like talking to a web developer where you're in the meetings, you're spending in that time, but you get a very finite return on that investment of your time. And we feel that this is a crucial point and a crucial advantage and benefit to our self-assembly sites members.